A week from today marks exactly 45 years since a 14-year-old was stabbed to death here in Colorado Springs. Tonight, her killer is still on the run.
It's the last case left unsolved for a former Colorado Springs police homicide detective. The girl's family still desperate for closure. KRDO News Channel 13 Sydney Stell has this Colorado Cold Cases special report, Babysitter Murder.
Nearly 45 years ago, Maria Honzell was soaking in all that life had to offer in the late 70s. She was 14 years old at the time and lived in Colorado Springs. Her best friend, Kathy Moberly, remembers their friendship being full of love.
She was just a wonderful, wonderful friend and such a neat personality.
Kathy remembers her friend always having a smile on her face, even during a bad day, calling her a ray of light.
She skipped a lot, you know. She never really walked or ran. She skipped.
Maria was a middle child with 7 siblings on either side. She had just lost her mom unexpectedly to heart issues and had stepped up as a sort of mother figure, especially to her younger sister Erica, who was just 6 years old.
Even at such a young age, had a maternal instinct about her that was ever present. So many friends, people that were just drawn to her.
She wanted to be a mama. She wanted kids, lots of kids, and so did I. We talked about a dozen each.
One night in February, Maria took a babysitting job for the 2 little boys who lived in the apartments across from hers on North Nevada in the Springs. Kathy remembers Maria calling her that night.
She said that I love these kids and I'm babysitting, and then she said, I better get going. She said, I love you, and I said, you too.
Those 2 little words, you too, are stuck in Kathy's mind forever because they're the last she ever spoke to her best friend. After Maria put the boys to bed, a killer made their way into the apartment, stabbed Maria dozens of times, and left, leaving no signs of a break-in or robbery. Dwight HAVERKORN was a Colorado Springs police homicide detective at the time. He still remembers the scene decades later. He said Maria was laying on the living room floor when he got to the apartment. He remembers she was wearing overalls.
I know the one thing that was surprised us all is that she looked like she was probably in her mid-20s. At that time, I was about 30. And after we found out she was 14, we were just dumbfounded.
After talking to the boys she was babysitting, it turns out they woke up during the commotion and watched what happened.
It's got to be pretty hard for young children to have to witness something like that. And that's just not right.
Despite a couple of leads in the days following Maria's murder, nothing ever panned out. The case went cold. It's the only one left unsolved from the dozens Dwight worked while on the force. He hopes detectives might still be able to find evidence to solve the case.
I would like to think that maybe there was something that they could get that off of if they decided to run this case back through for processing, just to see if something came up. I'm very sorry that we weren't able to solve this thing back at the time it occurred.
Erica says she'll never forget her sister's funeral.
The amount of stab wounds that she actually had, they literally had to have a scarf around her neck.
It scarred us all for life.
Kathy still visits Maria's grave often, always bringing flowers, though her gravesite sits unmarked.
Just recently, this tree with big, big thorns is growing where Maria's at. And I'm like, so anyway, I started using it just to decorate.
Maria used to have a tombstone. It read, "Our Little Angel," but her family says it was removed in 1987 after her father passed away and could no longer make the payments.
A precious, innocent child was stabbed to death, brutally stabbed to death for no reason, and not to have a stone is just devastating, and I've been too poor to put one on.
Maria's nephew Zach was not born yet when his aunt was murdered, but he's seen the impact her death has had on his entire family. He's now hoping to help raise money to give Maria a proper tombstone and replace the makeshift memorial they've created for the time being.
It would give us somewhere for the little bit of closure that we do have. I mean, we don't have closure on the case, but at least we would have some place to go and pay our dues.
But what they want more than anything, decades later, are answers.
She was robbed. We were all robbed and left, with the wound the wound that is still incredibly wide open. There has been no closure. There is no closure.
Now, if you want to help the Honzell family pay for Maria's tombstone, they started a fundraiser. We've got that information on our website, krdo.com. And if you know absolutely anything that might help catch Maria's killer all these years later, please contact Colorado Springs Police. Reporting live in our studio, I'm Cindy Stell, KRDO News Channel 13.